Hey there guys, my name's Ken Little, and today I'm going to show you my setup. What I've been trying to do is film some bluebirds fledging out of a nesting box. I've been watching the parents come back and forth. Now, you know, I set up a blind about 60 feet away from the actual nesting box. Let me see if I can flip the camera around and show you. All right, so this is the actual blind with my camera lens poking out here. You can see a little more of the gear in there. I don't know if you can see it, but let's go on around to where the actual, walk over to where the actual, and in fact we've got a bluebird on the pole up here, probably gonna fly away as soon as I get close. But let me show you the distance where the nesting box actually is. It's about 60 feet away, and the female bluebird just took off the pole there. But the nesting box that we've been filming is actually right here. And this is where all the action has been taking place. So I just wanted to show you kind of the distance that you have to span to get to the actual nesting box. And over here, we actually have feeders. And this is part of my 24/7 feeder stream. So this is where the parents come to feed, and we've got mealworms up here and other food that they might consume and that. And we actually also have a ground feeder down here, and it's got some mealworms and such around that too. So plenty of food source near the nesting box right here. Probably 15 to 20 feet. So that's our setup. Okay, next I wanted to show you the setup that I have with a blind. And this is one of those tide-wee blinds that you can actually see through, which is unusual. But let's go inside and see what we got here. See how you've got the see-through there? And I've got me a chair set up here, a little stool that I can set my monitor on. I've got an iPad as a monitor, and then of course we've got the camera set up here. I don't know how well you can see that. And of course this is just a little monitor screen we got here. And I've also have a little loop that you can see as well. So anyway, this is where I've been spending a lot of hours spending time in here, sitting in that chair and filming. So just trying not to disturb the birds though. I also have a remote monitor on my iPad that I can click on, and when I sit in the chair, this position, I can put my phone right there if I'd like, but just enjoying a pretty day. And like I said, if I just pick up my iPad here, and I can take this inside my office here or upstairs and hit record anytime I see. And since it's cache recording, like right now, I want to record the bluebird looking out, and it's on record. So the bluebird's peering out of the house, and it's recording at half speed as well. And we have cache recording, which cache recording allows it to be recording all the time. You press a button and it'll capture anything like 10 to 12 seconds ahead of the actual action when you push the button. So Anyway, just want to show you guys the setup here. Most people don't know that the Eastern Bluebird nearly disappeared from North America in the mid-20th century. The culprit? The introduction of European starlings and house sparrows, which took over their nest cavities. One simple solution turned the tide: the nest box trail. Millions of volunteers put up millions of nest boxes. The bluebird came back. This is one of the greatest conservation success stories in American history. And it happened in backyards, using nest box just like we have here in this video. Not only are the bluebirds responsible for feeding the hatchlings, they're also responsible for removing the deposits left by the hatchlings. So in essence, this is like changing the diapers and throwing them away. The male bluebird dives at the robin, protecting the nest. Lots of energy is expended both feeding and cleaning up. Most people don't know the life cycle of a bird, which consists of 7 stages: the egg stage, the hatchling stage, the nestling stage, the fledgling stage, the juvenile stage, subadult stage, and the adult stage. And once birds reach the adult stage, they are ready to start the cycle again by mating and laying eggs. The hatchling stage happens as soon as they emerge from their eggshell and are strong enough to survive outside, but they still need their parents to provide warmth, as they cannot control their body temperature. Once the birds are a few days old, they will soon enter the nestling stage. At this stage, they have small and soft feathers that can protect them from the cold, and their eyes have opened, and they're able to stand on their feet and also produce their own heat. This is a female eastern phoebe that found her a nice little perch close to the feeders, followed by an American robin. The birds in the box are now in the fledgling stage, and that's where they've grown feathers and wing muscles, and they are now curious and start to explore outside their nest. They hadn't learned to fly yet, but they are developed the muscles to do such. They are also getting more vocal and calling the parents for food. It seems to be an effective strategy as well. You can tell that this fledgling is ready to go. He's looking around and
thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? This fledgling is tired of being in the box, and he's about ready to fledge and explore the world around. Let's see what he does. You can tell that this guy's not quite as convinced that he wants to do this, but seeing that his fledgling brother or sister has already made the leap and escaped, he is also considering his options. We see the parent flying by and around the box, trying to encourage the fledgling to take the leap. The mother flies in to try to encourage the fledgling even more so. The fledgling decides to take an intermediate step and step out on the front porch, which is really a knoll guard. You can see the fledgling looking around and doing little wing flutters, just kind of testing out, and the mother flies in again to encourage the fledgling, and the fledgling, of course, is expecting food, but the mother has other ideas to try to lure the fledgling out into the world to take the final step. After being in the cramped nesting box, the juvenile preens and tries to shake out and air out his feathers to make them more effective in this new outside environment. In most songbirds, parental care continues for up to 2 weeks after fledging. The adult bluebird uses food to try to lure the new juvenile to more safe environment, into like bushes or cover or something where she can effectively feed the bird, but the bird will be protected under the cover of the shrubs. It's always delightful to see at my 24/7 live streaming cam the juveniles come up to the feeders, and the parents normally kind of try to guide them to show them where the food is and how to eat the food. At first the juvenile will beg for food, and then the parent will show them how to feed. In this particular instance, that doesn't occur. The young bluebird flies up to the feeder and discovers some food there. The female ends up flying up and showing the juvenile where to land and where to stay, but juveniles just look so innocent standing up there in front of the feeders, and the parents are kind of scared that they could be predated while they're there. I hope you enjoyed the cycle from hatchling to juvenile and going to the feeder led by the parents.